afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Selling Like a Vendor. My name is Beauty. Today we have got Tamuka James Chinchande, the Managing Director of M&J Media. Tamuka, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Beauty.
Thank you. It's quite a pleasure. Okay, so are you guys selling like vendors?
All right. I think when it comes to selling like a vendor, one of the things that you see is that when it comes to sales, you have to go all out.
Mm-hmm.
So we are pushing in a way, because you find that when you get a client, you have to maximize on every opportunity. That's basically what vendors do, and you have to do basically uncommon things in order to actually get the sale. Mm-hmm. So it's about going the extra mile. It's actually about pushing the extra mile. So we are selling like vendors at M&J Media.
Yeah, which is good, because I actually saw one of your salespeople on Facebook. There's a client who actually posted her.
All right.
And she was happy with how she was handled. I must give you thumbs up. Good job,
okay.
Right?
Is it the video?
Yeah, I think it was because I saw the
video follow-up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you guys are following up aggressively, like vendors.
Like vendors, basically, because you have to do uncommon things, and it's a surprise. The moment you send someone a video, it's something that no one else does in the market. So the moment you do it, someone will actually be shocked to say that, you know what, I've received this particular video. It makes sense, and it's unique in a way if you look at it.
Yeah, very unique. You know, when I was still group sales manager of M&J, I faced a lot of resistance when it comes to video follow-ups. People really didn't understand.
All right.
Because you would hear things like, what if the wife thinks I'm after the husband? What if the wife... You know, we're just used to telephone follow-ups.
Yeah.
What do you think about video follow-ups?
When it comes to video follow-ups, because you actually find that, especially these days, it's easy for someone to trust someone that they've known, right? So when you are only calling, let's maybe say without even using video follow-ups, people know you only by hearing a voice. But now the moment you actually use video, it's easy now for someone to actually associate a face with the voice, which will actually be easy when you get to the point where you actually want to convert that particular client into a sale.
Oh yes.
So if you're not trying video, it's something that I actually encourage to say that people should use video, especially when it comes for follow-up.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with you on that, because one of my favorite authors, Brian Tracy, always says people believe what they see more than what they hear. That's why you find I can call you 16 times and you can still not recognize my voice, not recognize my name. But if you have matched the voice to the face, it's highly unlikely that you won't remember me. And I like the fact that it's unpredictable. You know, if Tamuka, you want to do my marketing, like M&J Media, the moment I see Tamuka on my phone, what rings to my mind is that Tamuka is following up on that marketing opportunity.
Definitely.
But when I see a video, I'm interested to see what's in it.
Yeah.
What's in it.
Yeah.
Because I think it has a lot to do with substance. What's in the video.
And it's also about sparking curiosity at the end of the day.
Yes.
And one of the things that we find, especially when it comes to follow-up, is that you have to be creative in a way. And maybe just to expand a bit on the issue of creativity, there is actually this particular post that I saw. Someone wanted a job at Microsoft. Do you know what she did? She baked a cake with a CV on the top of the cake.
Oh my goodness.
And she actually sent it to Microsoft. So no one can actually throw a cake in the bin at the end of the day.
I mean, why aren't people sending CVs like that to me?
Exactly. it's creative, and it's something that can even be applied to sales.
Exactly.
To actually say that, let's maybe say a client actually says, you know what, Beauty, send me an email. You can just bake a cake, especially if it's a big deal. You just bake a cake, $20. You actually put maybe a Gmail design and the Gmail sign on top of the cake to actually say, here's your email to the client.
Oh my goodness.
You set yourself apart. So it's about being creative at the end of the day.
Interesting. I mean, thumbs up to that person. I mean, I would have definitely hired that person.
Definitely.
I mean, that's thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
Who would do that? In Zimbabwe, just know that if you just come, drop the CV by the reception, expect the call. No one even follows up.
Exactly. And you start praying for the best. That's what people do.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Because you're throwing up your CV on top of 1,000 CVs. And you don't even follow up. Do you think I'm going to remember you?
Most people. That's why you actually find that if you look at a lot of people, they have a negative perception towards salespeople. Why? Because you actually find that what every other salesperson does, especially when it comes to follow-up, they call a client and maybe they start from prospecting. Someone is actually looking for business. You just call someone, You actually start asking them about the rain and everything, and maybe they give you a meeting. You go to a meeting. When you are doing the follow-up now, it's always call after call. How far? Can you please give me the order? Can you please give me business? In most cases, the client actually even ends up blocking your number at the end of the day. Exactly, because you're not adding value in terms of how you're actually doing follow-up.
Yes.
And you're not being creative. Because at the end of the day, sales, it's about being creative. You cannot separate creativity from selling.
Yeah, that's true. And when you look at follow-up, it's quite a worrying subject when it comes to most businesses.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking along the lines, I've bought my plasma TV. No one has ever called to see if I'm happy with it, if I'm facing a challenge.
Yeah.
I've bought a battery to a prominent company. No one have actually followed up if my car is working very well.
Yeah.
Do you really think it might be something that is contributing to the state of businesses in Zimbabwe?
Definitely. You are actually, I think one of the most interesting things that at the end, I love the example that you gave, that you bought a plasma TV. And think about it. Let's maybe say, if you're looking at the electronic purchases that you made, maybe you bought a plasma TV, you might have bought a DSTV decoder, you might actually have bought a home theater, all from different shops. Yet you could have gotten those things from a single shop at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So it's actually something that a lot of businesses, they are not maximizing on one customer. And one of the things that you find is that it's very expensive to get a new customer than to actually make a second sale, to sell to your customer again. So it's about maximizing. Let's maybe say you're a company that actually sells cement. Someone comes, they get 10 bags of cement. Sometimes rather than just giving them the 10 bags, they're asking a few questions. Ask them, what kind of home are they actually building? Maybe you actually learn that maybe they're building a 15-room double-story house. Maybe that house can actually take 2,000 bags of cement, but they're satisfied because you sold 20. And you don't follow up on that particular client that could have actually purchased 2,000 bags of cement from you.
Very true.
So it's actually about maximizing on one client, and that's why most companies are in shambles. Why? Because you market, you get one customer. You don't maximize on that customer. You go into the market looking for another customer. Yet you have a lot of these customers who've actually been coming in and you haven't been maximizing on them.
Yeah, that is very true. And one thing that I've also noticed that people don't really understand the term follow-up.
Yeah.
They think when we say follow-up, it's me following up on a quotation that I sent to you. How far, Tamuka, when are you coming through to make the payment? But in actual sense, the follow-up is a way of maintaining relationships. I mean, you're talking about maximizing on one client. You can only experience lifetime value of a client if you follow up.
Exactly.
That means I'm actually working to maintain the relationship that I have established. Because it's one thing to establish a relationship, but maintaining it,
it's another thing.
Exactly. And usually, if I tell you one thing, I might buy a service, then I don't understand.
Yeah.
What exactly is that service supposed to benefit? How it is supposed to benefit? But if your team or yourself, you're not following up to see if I really understand. Remember, sales is an exchange of value.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm not even experiencing the value, and you're not following up. So we like to call it after sales follow up.
Yeah.
To make sure that we have completed the sale. Remember, a sale is not complete until I have actually gained the value.
The value.
Yes, we might have a transaction whereby I sell a book, but if you don't read that book, the sale is not complete. Definitely. So if I just keep quiet, oh yeah, I've got my $30, I'm good. I don't care if Tamuka is. I mean, it just shows that you're after my money.
Which is true. And to also expand on the issue of customer lifetime value, you actually find that in most cases, I think it's also something that is lacking. If even for someone who's actually selling groceries, they should be able to know that how much is one customer worth in a single year. To actually look beyond the transaction. Someone can come in, maybe today they actually make a purchase for $20, or maybe they buy groceries for $50. You actually find that if you only look at the $50 transaction, sometimes it might not make sense to the business owner to follow up. But now the moment you actually think to say that if we are able to consistently maintain this client for a year, you actually find that that $50 transaction is now worth $650.
Oh, yeah.
And it now makes sense when it comes to following up.
Yeah.
So it's something that is very, very important when it actually comes to customer lifetime value. Look at the value of the customer from the long term rather than from the short term at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'm always talking about how we make a huge effort in terms of generating leads or opportunities, creating clientele. And then it's like we have got a funnel which is wide open, which is bringing in clients. But if we lack the ability to follow up, that means the same funnel is going to be wide open at the bottom. So we're getting a client and they leave, we're getting a client and they leave. So at the end of the day, we can start off with signs of growth, but it's actually broken down by lack of follow-up, lack of a tangible relationship. Because I'm never going to come to M&J Media if I don't have a reason to come to. Because I think I'm thinking of scenarios where I've looked for quotations. I don't even get follow-ups. Yeah. If I go Z, they just go Z.
They just go Z.
And you know what? To make matters worse, it's not only affecting the customer. Yeah. Have you seen how you can give an instruction to your subordinate? When you don't follow it up, they don't follow up because they have a reason. They've got a justification that you didn't ask. Exactly. I was waiting for you to ask. So you know, it starts from within. Like what we always say, everything that we do in sales, it's part of our life. Exactly. If I don't follow up on an instruction that I gave, rest assured it's not going to be done.
It's not going to be done.
That's why we've got a need of policies, big policies, HR departments, disciplinary measures. If we only master the art of actually being able to follow up, I don't think we would have challenges.
Everything will be done. Everything it's all about follow up at the end of the day. As long as someone is not following up, nothing will get done. So you actually find that as a salesperson, it's the responsibility of the salesperson to actually follow up on the client.
I might know what I want, but the issue is I'm guarded. I need you to assist me to buy. The only way you can be able to assist me to buy is if you follow up. Because when you follow up, you get to understand where exactly is my fear coming from. Am I fearing the price? Or it's just that you know, insecurity to part with my money. You cannot identify that if you're just waiting for me to just come. Tamuka, I think I'm now in need of marketing. Yeah. It's never going to happen like that. Exactly. And at times you fail to maximize on your potential as long as you're waiting for me to follow up on you. Yes. We have talked about follow up for quite some time. What's your take on the time frame? When is it a good time for me to follow up? What do you think?
All right. As to the issue of when, you actually find that we have to follow up on a client until they die, basically. If you're looking at follow up, why? Because you actually find that the moment, I think, to just address the first question, when it actually comes to when should you follow up, I think you shouldn't put a specific time frame in terms of follow up. Okay. But we're actually saying that treat it with agency. The moment the client actually comes, they need something. Make it a priority. Do not spend even more than an hour without actually following up on a client, particularly if it's actually a first request. Because you then find that there is actually a school of thought that actually says 60% of clients, they actually convert with the business that actually follows them up first at the end of the day. So if you are the first to follow up on a client, it's an advantage. And right now, you actually find that the way most clients shop is that they are not talking to a single company. If someone is looking, let's maybe say for shoes, for example, they're not talking only to you. They are talking maybe to you and 5 other competitors. And in most cases, what's going to determine whether or not they go with you is your rate or your response rate at the end of the day.
Yeah, which is true.
Because the moment you are quick in terms of follow-up, it's automatic that you also be quick in terms of delivery. So it's important to actually follow up as soon as possible, as frequent as possible. And I actually find that when you put the issue of frequency, going back to the example of shoes, if you sell shoes, let's maybe say you want to follow up on a client, it's not always about now calling to actually say, when are you coming to get your shoes? Look for basically just content on shoes, tips, fashion advice, maybe outfits that can actually go with the shoes. Send it to the client. You've actually given them an idea. It's something that actually sparks a conversation within them.
Oh, just check up on me.
Exactly.
I mean, the reason why we are following up on each other is that we're trying to establish a
relationship,
which is going to give you value, and also give me value.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's just why isn't better to just say, hi Tamuka, I just want to check up on you.
Yeah.
It's very hard for our salespeople. One thing that I've also noticed, because I've been analyzing mistakes that people make when they're following up.
Yeah.
As we always trying to find out what exactly is wrong with this company when it comes to sales training. I think the one mistake that I've noticed, which is common amongst most of the organizations, they feel like they're pressuring the client and they fear rejection. But I've noted that for you to be successful in sales, you have to be unreasonable. Because the moment you are unreasonable, that means Tamuka is just going to say, no, don't call me, I'll call you. And trust me, I don't know about your company, I've never gotten a call from someone who said, I'll call you back. Yeah. So it's usually, hi beauty, I had actually forgotten.
Exactly.
And imagine if I take too long to follow up. That means if he has forgotten about me when we have communicated yesterday. Yeah.
They've forgotten that you existed at the end of the day. Yeah.
So if he has forgotten about me, think about the opportunity that we're trying to pursue.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we shouldn't fear the issue to do with pressurizing the client. I mean, remember, we're trying to help you buy. So if I'll take one instance. Maybe you're selling marketing or you're selling training. I explain that it's of urgency that you actually implement training, implement marketing, and then you take too long to follow up on actually pushing me to implement. It actually means that either you were lying to me just to get a sale. Yeah. And obviously I'm never going to trust you. So imagine if I can lose trust in you simply by taking too long to follow up.
Exactly.
How about if you're not even following up?
Yeah. Which is very, very important. And maybe just to close it off, you actually find that you actually talked about the issue of trust, and there is something I always refer to that is called the trust equation. Okay. That actually says trust is equals to, there is number one, there is credibility, where someone actually looks and they need to see how credible you are. And there is the issue of reliability, like what you're actually highlighting. If you say to someone, I'm going to call you tomorrow, call them tomorrow. Yeah. Because it actually contributes to trust. Yeah. And then you also have now the intimacy part. Also actually coming to what you highlighted, to then say that the moment you call someone, just asking them, checking on their day, you are actually building that rapport with them. And you then find that those are the three things that actually contribute to trust. But at the end of the day, they actually say that it's over now the self-interest part. The moment you call someone, asking them how far with that, with the training, for example, basically you're focusing on yourself and actually not focusing on the client at the end of the day. So the way you actually follow up, if you show a lot of self-interest in the client, it's actually going to decrease the trust that they actually have towards you. So it's actually about balancing that to actually make sure that it's always about the client at the end of the day.
Remember, clients are concerned with what's in it. Exactly. I always tell my people that most each and every client, most of them, they listen to me from what's in it for me. And I've also noticed that follow-up helps minimize complaints and bad reviews. I mean, if you sell me something, maybe a phone, and if you check up on me, if I'm facing a challenge or if the phone is not functioning properly, you're able to resolve that without me coming to your Facebook blasting. I mean, if I just send a negative feedback on your Facebook page, even some people that has no idea of what media does, they actually come through. So we're saying it's one thing to maintain a good brand. It's one thing to do fair fighting. So follow-up has helped a lot in terms of actually limiting actually complaints and actually creating customer experience. Because I choose to believe more in you. If your goal is to help me even after the sale. Exactly. So I think we should follow up like Mono Security. Tamuka, if you have my $5. I follow you everywhere. Every aggressively, because I want that money. I think that's the same way, but not violently.
It's like owing a vendor. Follow up like a vendor.
Yeah. I guess we have to teach people to follow up like a vendor.
Like a vendor,
Because they'll be like, Tamuka, when are you coming for that? Maputi, when are you coming
Yeah.
for that? So I think that's what we need, but we need to do it in a more skilled way.
Exactly.
Because if you do it diplomatically and strategically, you use a surgical approach, like what I was.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Beauty, for having me.
Yes, keep following up, guys. Keep following
Definitely.
up. Yes,
Definitely.
we want more reviews. We want more good comments from clients. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us. I hope you've learned something. Feel free to contact us if you need any marketing services. Chamuka is your guy, and if you need sales training, you know where to find us.
She is your girl.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your week.